This morning I do what I always do when I check my phone for the first time of the day. I looked at my time hop. I found this lovely gem of a picture of me in high school as a cheerleader. And it just got me thinking. I graduated from high school back in 2014, and those hairstyles that I wore in cheerleading are not a thing anymore. So today I thought it would be fun to show you the evolution of my hairstyles that I used to wear when I was a cheerleader in high school, starting from my freshman year all the way up until my senior year, because there's quite a transformation that happens throughout those 4 years. I am even wearing a t-shirt from my freshman year of cheerleading. This is, I don't know why I still have this one of all the t-shirts that I had. I had some cute ones, but this is probably one of my least favorite ones. We were the Crusaders, so that's what it is. I don't wear this anymore because it makes me feel like an old person, and I don't want to be one of those people that looks like they're stuck in their high school days. This first picture is from my very first football scrimmage as a freshman in high school, and I was so nervous and so excited, and also kind of like, I remember during the process being like, this is it, this is what cheerleading is, but it definitely got better from there. But anyway, I started growing out my bangs in 8th grade because my hair lady, who also watches my channel, so hi Kristen, she told me that if I wanted to be a cheerleader, I needed to grow out my bangs. And that was probably one of the nicest things anyone has ever done for me, is told me the hard truth that I needed to hear. Because I used to have bangs. Here is a picture of that. Yes, I had those until I was 14, and then I realized something needed to change. Thank you to Kristen. At the beginning of my freshman year, I was still growing out those bangs, and I had to figure out a way to keep them pinned out of my face, but also I had to put my hair back in a ponytail. The team that I was on in high school, we all had to have matching hair. So like every time we had like an event, the captains would tell us what kind of hairstyle we had to wear, and if we didn't have that hairstyle when we showed up to the game, we had to go change it because we all had to match. So if it was a ponytail, it didn't matter like how you got your hair out of your face, but it had to be in a ponytail. You couldn't wear your hair down. We were never allowed to just wear it plain down. It either had to be half up or in a ponytail. Those were the 2 hairstyles they would assign to us. But most of the time it was a ponytail because that's easier to make like all the same. So I'm just gonna show you. I'm gonna try to like demonstrate how I used to do this. Even though my bangs are now not really bangs, they're the same length as my hair. But you can see in that picture, I'll bring it back up again, like they weren't quite long enough to tuck into the back of my ponytail, so they like kind of stuck out. So obviously I can't recreate that. But what I would do was, I would take, yeah, this is my bangs. I would take my bangs out and I'd toss the rest of my hair back. And then this side, where my bangs was also growing out, I would take out. And then I'd take the rest of my hair, oh gosh, and I would have to do it like this, except for I could see a little bit better, but like, you know, you get the picture. Believe it or not, this is also the same bobby pin holder that I had back in high school, so this is just so fitting. Okay, so then I would take a bobby pin, I'd pull the rest of my hair back, but I would try to like make it kind of a poof, but like I didn't know what teasing was yet, so then I didn't tease it. So then I would pin it like this. And I always had to make an X because I was worried that this hair, if it only had like one bobby pin in it, it would like fall out over the top, you know? So I had to make an X with the bobby pins. And I had to click it in. So sometimes it would kind of stick up. I don't know if you can see, but this is kind of sticking up. But that was okay because my hair was secure. And then I had to take this side. And also an X. X's on both sides of my head. And this is a very controversial topic, but bobby pins, I have always thought this and I still think this. The bumpy side goes down. The bumpy side never, ever, ever goes up. So then, yeah, that's how this would be, except for my bangs were shorter. But I'm not gonna tuck them in because that's how I wore it, like this. So this is how freshman Aerity would do her hair. I always had to like keep my part on the side. I kind of have like a weird hairline, so middle parts aren't really like a good thing for my face. As my bangs started to grow out, I learned to pin them back in different ways. I never just like brushed my hair back into a ponytail and left it at that. I always had to like pin back my bangs in some kind of way. So I would, once my hair was long enough, I would take the rest of this side where less of my bangs were and I would put it back in the ponytail. Then that still leaves these bangs. So by the time I was a sophomore, I was trying to, it slowly creeps over throughout the years. So as you can see, by the time I was a sophomore, it went from pinning them to the side to almost like a poof, but like a crooked poof. And again, I still didn't really know that much about teasing. I thought it didn't really work with like my hair type. So I would just like poof it with my hands like this and then make the same X with the bobby pins. And then this was a turning point. The rest of, oh, did we lose pop? No. The rest of my bangs would fit into my ponytail. So then I put it all in a ponytail and I would just have my bangs pinned to the side like this. Wow. By the time we reached my junior year, I had learned about teasing. So I was still doing the similar bang style, but it slowly gets bigger. And junior year is also the year, oh, I have to start over. Junior year is also the year when I learned about the poof. And if you were a cheerleader in high school, back in like 2010 through 2015, if you were a cheerleader during some of those years, you probably know about the poofs. Poofs aren't really a thing anymore. I would put the rest of my hair back in ponytail, leave my bangs down, just like all the other years. But then I would, this is the exact teasing comb I would use because I never have found a reason to buy another teasing comb because I can't really say I use one. But I would tease my hair like that. Oh gosh. I'm like having flashbacks of doing this. Oh gosh, my mirror's over here, so I have to look over here. And then I would smooth it over to the side. I don't really think I ever thought about how my hair looked from like different angles. It was always like, how does my hair look dead on? Okay. So I'd smooth it out. Once I got it to how I liked it and I felt like it looked nice, I made an X with my bobby pins. Then I would have a nice poof to the side. And then I would put the rest, obviously, in a ponytail. Like so. Junior year is the year that I went through several hairstyle transformations. So I started out with something like this, but then we talked about the poof earlier. This is the year that I learned about the poof. By football season, you saw a lot of this hair, but by basketball season, it was all about the poof, which was kind of difficult to do because again, I had this hairline, so it's not really like made for hairstyles like that. In my opinion, it doesn't look as good as it does on some other people. The poof was a very challenging hairstyle, but I felt like it was worth it, and like that's how real cheerleaders did their hair, so that's what I did. The lighting in my room was getting kind of weird because of what time of day it is and where the sun's at, so I had to move locations. My strategy for the poof was very important. You had to follow each of the steps Otherwise, it wasn't gonna turn out right. Junior year also for some reason became the year that I was like in charge of helping with people's hair for competitions. I don't know why, because I have said on this channel before, I'm not good at doing hair. Like I can curl it and straighten it, but as far as like doing anything really beyond that, like I'm not gifted in that area. I wish I was, but I was definitely not. So I have no idea how I became in charge of that. I think I just did like the best poofs, but I don't think very many people realize that I could literally spend half an hour doing a poof. So you have to part it. I have to use my viewfinder because I don't have a mirror over here. I had to get it even on both sides. Let's see. And then also you have to make sure you have enough hair in the back, because if you didn't have enough hair in the back, then your poof was gonna get deflated. It wouldn't stay poofy. Yeah, that looks about right. So then, again, I'd have to put the rest of the hair in a ponytail once I got it all separated. Okay, so every good poof has 3 layers of teasing. I don't know where I got this idea from, but that's how I did it. So I take my comb, and the back layer wasn't as important as the other layers, but it was just in order to give it like that full look. And so it is a tease. Oh gosh. And then I would take my hairspray and I'd spray it on both sides. And then I'd let it sit for a few seconds to dry. And then I'd drip it back. Yep, that looks right. And then, oh gosh, I'm having so many flashbacks. Okay, so then the second layer, it gets more important with each layer. The second layer is when a majority of like the teasing comes into play. This is where most of the volume comes from, because you can see how thin the next layer is. So, tease. Just around the roots, yep. And then spray front and back. And then let it dry. Oh God. I'm just imagining how hard this is gonna be to brush out later. Yep. And then this layer you had to be careful, because I never wanted like the teasing to show through like the actual hairstyle. So I would just tease it like a little bit, just to give it that volume in the front, but not so much so that it would show. So then hairspray. I didn't hairspray the front because that comes later, and then let it dry. So at this point, this next step is it's the key to having it actually look cute instead of just like this Elvis Presley rat's nest on top of your head. I called this sculpting. You have to sculpt the poof like it is, oh my nose is such, you have to sculpt the poof like it is a work of art, okay? So, I don't have a mirror, so this is gonna be really interesting. I'll do the best I can, but I might have to go get a mirror. So you take all 3 layers combined, and then I'd start just like gently combing. And look at, but you can't comb too much because then you comb out the teasing, but you have to comb enough so that the teasing doesn't show through, if that makes sense. It's a work of art. Hold on, I'm gonna go look in the mirror. So this is a little bit messier than I would have it. I was very particular about my hair. It had to be just perfect. I would leave like sometimes an hour just to do my hair. So this would never fly. It's so messy on this side here. But basically what happens is, so the core of it is like super teased, and then you kind of smooth out the front parts of it so that it covers up the teasing. And then you put it next with your bobby pins in the back. And then tuck the tail into your ponytail. And you had to be very careful because you couldn't pull on the poof. Otherwise you might lose the sculpting you did. Like that, except for it was always much neater. And it seemed like as time went by, I like really had it down to a science, and the bigger the poof got. Another challenge was, so my hairline is like right here, so I'd have to tease a little extra to cover up my hairline because my hair naturally wants to part that way, so I'd have to really, you know, go at it to make sure that it didn't crack in the middle, because then, again, it's not perfect. By the time my senior year rolled around, I would wear a poof if I had a lot of time to do my hair, but I was also kind of getting into like the messy hairstyles that I saw girls do, and I think I got this idea when I was at camp. One of the UCA cheerleaders, she did her hair like this, and I was like, that is gonna be my next look. And this look was a lot easier to do, and it also was a lot faster. I mean, it still wasn't fast, but it was faster. Nothing about my getting ready routine for anything in high school was ever fast. I would tease the crown of the hair because that was like a really big thing. I don't know if that's really a thing anymore. I feel like sleek ponytails are a thing. And then I would tease both sides of my hair forward. So we're gonna attempt that. So I think what I would do is I would brush my hair back. And this was only for low ponytails. This could not be worn with like a higher ponytail. But I like the way low ponytails look with a bow, so I did this a lot. So again, with the teasing, I would part kind of my crown area to start. Yeah, that feels right. And then basically just tease the crap out of the back of my head. Again, I did several layers of this. Hairspray, let it dry, put it over my face. I use this rat tail comb so much. Use that. Tease. And I felt like, I don't know if this is the key to good teasing, but I thought the key to good teasing was several thin layers of teasing in order to get that volume, you know? Okay, so I did, again, 3 layers. Hairspray, let dry, pull forward. Okay, so then I flip the rest of the hair back. No, that looks about right. And then I'd figure out how I want my bangs. And I just want it kind of poofed. So I would tease like this chunk. Oh, and then hairspray. Yeah, that feels right. And then the other side, tease this side. Oh, that's probably more than necessary. That's gonna take a second to dry. And then, yeah. So once it looked like a mess, this is where the sculpting came in, okay? So you gotta be very careful to not like mess up the teasing in the back of the hair when you're combing it into a ponytail. So I would start by pinning my bangs. Always a bobby pin with an X. I think it was because we did like a lot of stunting and jumps a lot, and I hated having to fix my hair during a game. So I always made sure that I was like good to go before I left the house, so I didn't have to like fix it. It's kind of like, it kind of came full circle, because my freshman year I pinned both sides back, and then my senior year I'm like, yeah, let's bring that back, but let's tease everything. So then the key was to just toss the hair back like that. And then I would pin the back of my head. Because again, this is what I saw those cheerleaders doing, so I was like, this is the look for me. Which, like, looking in pictures, I think it looked fine. I think I would sculpt this a little bit more to get it like nice and smooth, because again, even my messy looks, I had to have it look neat. And then we just put the rest in a ponytail. But again, you have to be very careful to not mess up the teasing. And then to tighten it, I would take only the bottom hairs and pull on them. To really get that messy look, I pull my baby hairs out around my face. Aw, yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to go figure out how to comb out all this teasing out of my hair. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. All right? Okay, bye.